Nathan effin Peterman and the Chicago Bears will be facing off against the Vikings at Soldier Field in the final contest of the 2022 regular season. Who's gonna win? Watch this video to find out. What's going on, guys? I'm back with another Chicago Bears pregame prediction video, the final one of this season, thankfully. But if you guys want future videos about the offseason and other content in general regarding the Chicago Bears, definitely be sure to subscribe to my channel. I debated whether or not to make a video for this weekend's game because obviously a lot of people will not be interested in this week's game. I'm sure a lot of people also will not be watching the game at all because obviously the Bears are basically tanking now down the stretch here. But I appreciate all you guys that still tune into my videos every single week, so I thought I'd make this video still for you guys. A short, small video breaking down this matchup because, again, the result of this game does not matter whatsoever for the Chicago Bears. Actually, it does matter, but it does not matter if we win this game, okay? It's much, much better if the Bears lose this game, okay? So obviously, I'm not going to be rooting for a Bears victory this week. I'm not going to be, giving my 3 keys to Bears victory because I hope the Bears lose this game. And no, that does not make you a bad Bears fan if you hope for the Bears to lose this game because it benefits the Bears significantly in their future, okay? If they lose this game and either pick a number 2 or number 1 overall in the draft, it's still possible to get to number 1 if the Texans win their game against the Colts, which is pretty possible, okay? The Colts also are tanking, and if that happens and the Bears lose, we will be picking a number 1 in this year's draft, okay? And potentially get like a franchise-changing trade-back opportunity to, get a lot of future picks and current picks too. So, again, I appreciate all you guys that have been watching these videos every single week, even though the Bears season has been over for like a very long time. You guys are awesome. I can't wait to make content for you guys when this team is actually good. But talking about this matchup, guys, like I mentioned, Nathan Peterman is starting for the Chicago Bears. Okay, Justin Fields, like I mentioned in my last video, will not be playing this game due to a hip injury, which I'm not totally sure if that's an actual serious injury or like a tanking excuse, but I don't really care either way, okay? Whatever the case is, whatever the truth is, I don't care whatsoever because it is the right decision to bench Justin Fields, to sit Justin Fields for this game because it does not make sense to risk injury to him, your franchise quarterback, in a meaningless game which you're hoping to lose, okay? In a game in which you won't have so many of your guys, okay? Tevin Jenkins also will not be playing in this game. Michael Schofield will not be playing either. Josh Blackwell is also out for this game. Jalen Jones most likely will not be playing. We're already missing guys like Jack Sanborn, Darnell Mooney, Eddie Jackson. The list goes on and on. We have so many guys out in this game, okay? It's going to be a bunch of random people that honestly a lot of you guys probably have never heard of playing in this game for the Chicago Bears. So again, I'm rooting for a Bears loss, okay? The only thing I hope happens besides the Bears loss is the future guys that will be on this team, they perform well, okay? So guys like Jaquan Brisker, guys like Kyler Gordon, guys like, Chase Claypool, if he actually takes any snaps. It seems like Claypool barely takes any snaps nowadays because of his injury and other factors as well. But if Chase Claypool plays, I hope he does well too. And like the future building blocks of this team, obviously I hope they do well, but they're so far and few in between right now because our entire team is out due to injury or other reasons, right? So Nathan Peterman and a bunch of randoms will be playing in this game. And guys, Nathan Peterman has some of the worst stats of all time for any quarterback in the history of this league, okay? If you look at his touchdown to interception ratio, he has 3 touchdowns to 13 interceptions, okay? And only 52.5 completion percentage, 1-3 record while being a starting quarterback, while being a starting quarterback. He has 598 total passing yards in like 4 games he's played. So it's gonna be some very ugly football, okay? I would be very surprised if Peterman puts up more than like 10 points, 14 points. He has so little to work with on the offensive line. He's gonna have, practice squad guys on the O-line like Ja'Tari Carter and, other guys that were like 6th or 7th round picks. He's gonna have backups on the receiving core like Nasimba Webster. Like, I honestly feel bad for the guy because he's going to be in a very, very rough situation in this game. Now, it is the NFL, okay? Any given Sunday, and the Vikings have not been beating their opponents by a big margin. So anything is possible, but I think it's not going to be a good showing for the Bears offense just because of all the guys they have out. And Justin Fields obviously is not going to do crazy things by himself in this game because he's not playing in this game, okay? And Peterman is nowhere close to the talent that Justin Fields is as a quarterback. So I don't think our offense is going to do that well in this game. I'd be very surprised if we score more than 14 points, more than 10 points. As for our defense, it's going to be the same story on the defensive side of the football. Okay, the Vikings starters most likely will be playing, I would guess, at least like a half in this game, right? Because they have to still try to win to maybe get the number 2 seed in the conference if the 49ers lose their game. But the 49ers game is after the Bears game. So the Vikings cannot just rest everybody and lose by accident, because they can still get the number 2 overall seed in the conference, which will be big for the playoffs. Okay, to get to host a game at home. That's a big deal for a playoff team. So their starters should be in for at least a half, I would say. If it gets to be a blowout, then they're probably coming out. But guys like Kirk Cousins, Justin Jefferson probably are playing. And last time, even with our starters in on defense, they torched us, okay? They destroyed us. So now with our backups in, it's going to be a lot worse. We don't have Jalen Johnson. We don't have, Kindle Vilder. We don't have Josh Blackwell either. We don't have Justin Jones. We don't have Jack Sanborn. The list goes on and on. So again, it's not going to be a good showing by our defense either in this game, unless something just absolutely crazy happens. Okay, if the Vikings somehow don't beat up on us, I would be somewhat surprised, but also not really surprised, because the Vikings in the past this season have not been beating opponents again by big margins. Okay, basically all their wins came by like a field goal or by like a touchdown, and their point differential is negative. Okay, they actually have like a negative 20, I believe, point differential. So the Vikings definitely are overrated in my opinion. Like, they're not going to go very far in the playoffs, but they should be good enough, okay, to destroy this Bears team and beat us by a big margin. So as for my score prediction, I have the Vikings beating us by a score of 38-14. Okay, it's not going to be a good game whatsoever. I'll still be tuning in because I watch every single game. That's how invested I am in this cursed franchise, but a loss is going to give us a lot of good in the future, okay? So I'm definitely going to be rooting for a loss, especially when half these players will not be on the team next year. As for my offense MVP, who do I even go with? Okay, maybe David Montgomery, because it might actually be Monty's last game as a Bear, which is actually really sad to think about, okay? I'm not totally sure if Monty's coming back on this team. I kind of hope he does, because he's obviously a good pass protector, which we need at the running back spot. We saw last game Khalil Herbert completely whiff in pass protection multiple times. It would be nice to get Monty back on this team. And he's just such a, hard-working guy that really, you can tell he loves to be a Bear. So maybe get him back on a cheap deal next year. But if not, this might be Monty's last game as a Bear. And if it is, I hope he goes out with a bang, okay? Puts together 100 plus rushing yards. It's going to be hard to, do anything on offense this game because you have a quarterback like Nathan Peterman, but hopefully that happens. As for my defense MVP, let me go with Jaquan Brisker. He might be the only healthy guy on this defense that's still playing relatively well. So I'll say Jaquan Brisker for defense MVP, but we're not going to be stopping them many times on defense if I had to guess. So that basically wraps up my video, guys. Leave your comments down below. What do you guys think is going to happen in this game? Who do you guys think is going to win? Again, I hate to root for a Bears loss explicitly, but in this game, I'm definitely explicitly rooting for a Bears loss, because being at number 2 and number 1 overall would be absolutely huge. And I'll be also watching the Texans-Colts game side by side with this game, because I'll be rooting for Lovie Smith to get one more win, okay, to gift us Bears fans with the number 1 overall pick. Let me know your thoughts down below, guys, but as always, bear down.